My name is Charles Day, and I'd like to speak to you a few minutes about becoming a modern-day Joseph. About 4,000 years ago, Joseph was sold into slavery in Egypt and thrown into prison. But God raised him up to become second in command in the whole country and one of the most powerful and wealthy men who ever lived. He saved the entire population of the country by storing up grain for years before a long famine struck Egypt and surrounding regions. By storing grain before the famine hit, he saved everyone from starvation when disaster did arrive. Other people were not prepared for the famine, but Joseph was. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 47, starting with verse 13, "There was no food, however, in the whole region because the famine was severe. Both Egypt and Canaan wasted away because of the famine. Joseph collected all the money that was to be found in Egypt and Canaan in payment for the grain they were buying. After taking all their money in payment for the grain, he sold them grain for their livestock. And after the livestock was gone, he sold them grain for their land. In this way, Joseph became the richest and most powerful man in Egypt, second only to Pharaoh, who was his investment partner in storing the grain in the first place." Remember, Joseph did not give the grain away. His was not a public welfare program or a charity. He sold it, and he became extremely wealthy and powerful as a result. Right now, today, is your time to become a modern-day Joseph. Famine is coming to our land. It will strike suddenly, without warning, and within days, people will begin to die. Sadly, hardly anyone is aware of this fact. Congress is aware, but has not taken any action and is not informing the people about the coming calamity. Congress commissioned an expert panel to assess this threat, but unlike Joseph, they totally failed to heed the warnings of their own expert panel. You can read the report of this Congressional Commission for yourself at empcommission.org by clicking on the executive report at that site. I highly recommend that you do so today. Basically, our whole country is extremely vulnerable to an EMP attack from any of a number of enemies. The leaders of Iran have vowed to destroy the great Satan, America, and the little Satan, Israel. We Americans and our leadership are smug and dismiss Iranian proclamations as boastful, idle threats. However, they are actively practicing to destroy us and will very soon have the capability to carry out their threats. A single Iranian missile with a nuclear warhead fired from the deck of a freighter in U.S. coastal waters can explode a nuclear bomb above the U.S. and completely take out our electric grid nationwide and totally cripple our transportation system. The Iranians already have placed a satellite in orbit, and was the nuclear explosion in May of this year the second North Korean nuclear test or the first Iranian one. Our country has absolutely no defense against such an attack launched secretly from a freighter in American coastal waters. We live in a complex society that is highly dependent on electricity and motor vehicles. An EMP attack from a single nuclear bomb can take down nationwide our electric grid and disable most transportation vehicles, whose electronic components would be fried by the EMP. However, a nuclear EMP attack is not the only way sudden destruction of our electrical grid can happen. A solar storm can do exactly the same thing. In 1989, a small solar storm struck northeastern Canada and electricity was knocked out to over 6 million homes. According to an article in the October 2009 issue of Knowledge magazine, a major solar storm, which they call a cosmic Katrina, could wipe out civilization at any moment because we are so highly dependent on electricity and things containing electronic components. Try to imagine, if you will, what would happen to you if suddenly all electricity and all cars and trucks stopped and did not come back on for at least a year. People who have seriously studied this same scenario estimate that within 1 year of the event, 80% of all Americans will be dead. Within 2 days of the event, all food will have disappeared from grocery shelves and none will be restocked. Within a week, all medicines will have disappeared from pharmacies and no one or nothing will be arriving to take their place. Our society is just 9 meals away from starvation. Also, there will be no lights, no running water to drink, bathe, or flush a commode, no TV, no computer, no microwave, no electric stove, no refrigeration, no air conditioning, no heat, no car, no cell phone, not even texting, no landline, no news, no hospital, no restaurants, no fast food, no police, no firemen, and no one coming to help you. What will you do? If you have been a Joseph, you'll be one of the few who will make it through the first year and beyond. Also, if you have been a Joseph, you'll be able to save not only yourself, but many others from starvation, and you will prosper. As you saw with Joseph, when people get hungry, they will sell all their stuff to buy food. So what do you need to do now to be a Joseph? Do exactly the same thing he did. Store grain in the time of plenty, starting right now, against the time of famine, which is coming. A person can survive on half a pound of rice, plus half a pound of beans, plus a vitamin tablet per day. That's all we need. Therefore, store rice, beans, and a vitamin tablet. As an example, I purchased a 25-pound bag of rice for $8.84 and a 10-pound bag of pinto beans for $6.13 at the Sam's Club. This will feed one person for 1 month. Store your grain so that it is protected from water, bugs, rodents, and other vermin. One 25-pound bag of rice just fits into a 5-gallon plastic bucket fitted with an airtight, waterproof lid. The same bucket will hold 3 10-pound bags of beans or 5 gallons of clean drinking water. Covered with an old commode seat with a little peat moss thrown in, the same 5-gallon bucket can serve as a composting toilet for sanitation needs. Also, a Joseph will need to store many other items that will not be available once disaster strikes. For a list of such items, go to beajoseph.com. There are many other things a Joseph can do, but basically store grain just as he did 4,000 years ago. People have not changed. They will need food to survive, and they will pay dearly for it when they are hungry. For a detailed and realistic picture of what will happen after an EMP attack, read the novel 1 Second After and go to onesecondafter.com. Thank you for your time. To learn more, go to beajoseph.com.